Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Black Renaissance. I'm your host, Kristen Ayers. You know, we're always looking for new show ideas, so you can pitch them to us on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Black Renaissance kbcw-tv. Today, we're talking to a historian, a rapper, and a representative from a local nonprofit dealing with sex trafficking. But first, I want to welcome the executive director of the Hidden Genius Project and a KPIX5 Jefferson awardee, Brandon Nicholson. Brandon, welcome.
Thanks a lot. Happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here. I've heard a lot about the Hidden Genius Project. I was just reading a New York Times article, I think a few months ago, about your program. And really, this is a program that is bringing young African-American men, high schoolers, into tech. So talk to me about exactly what the program does.
Sure. The mission of the Hidden Genius Project is to train and mentor Black male youth in technology creation, entrepreneurship, and leadership skills to transform their lives and communities. Effectively, what we do is work with young men and try and develop them into quality leaders and people who can elevate their communities. We do that by teaching them cutting-edge and marketable skills in technology, particularly with respect to software development. We've been around since 2012, founded in Oakland, California by 5 Black male tech entrepreneurs, and now we're operating out of Oakland with a full-time staff, which is fantastic.
That's
and
huge.
We're able to serve many more young men, and our flagship component is a 15-month minimum intensive, wherein young men come into us as rising 9th through rising 11th graders and spend 7 weeks during the summer with us for 40 hours a week. Then we work with them throughout the school year, after school, and on the weekends, and then they spend another summer with us. That process culminates in them building their own software project from start to finish.
So they're building software projects, they're learning about tech, but it sounds like there's sort of a much wider goal there.
Absolutely. Ultimately, none of this works if we don't provide holistic support for these young men, and if we don't empower them to be resilient and to navigate the challenges they'll face in life, and to also be very conscientious about how to uplift their communities. And so with the work that we're doing, we hope that they'll be able to ultimately get to work right away, working for themselves, building things for people in their communities, and also building teams that can build products that really matter, not just to them, but again, to their families and communities, environments in which they live. And so we see it as a great opportunity to help young men see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, but have that light be much closer. And that ultimately they'll be able to then lead lives that allow them to stay in their communities and thrive there. And it's really important, I think, for us to also note that with these young men and everything happening in the tech sector and a lot of press around lack of diversity in the tech space, there are so many people in our communities who've been involved in technology for generations, really since the beginning of time. And so this isn't about us knocking on the door of companies or trying to break in. This is really about us empowering these young men to be able to build something and see the value in themselves and in these skills, and then ultimately be able to self-determine. So whether they want to work for a large company that we can name and know well that may not be extremely diverse, or whether they want to work, you know, as part of a smaller startup, or whether they want to run their own show, run their own business. Absolutely.
You talk about tech diversity. It's so important that a program like this is based in Oakland in particular. And you guys have had some real success lately with one of those Google Impact Challenge grants, correct?
Correct.
Tell me about that. $500,000 grant?
That's correct. So we were very fortunate to land in the top 10 of this Google Impact Challenge grant competition, which essentially put us in the mix for a almost 4-week voting period wherein people from around the world actually could vote on their 4 favorite organizations to receive this $500,000 grant that would span 2 or 3 years. And we came in, we had been run on volunteer power as an organization since 2012 up until about a year ago. So we were operating very lean, and we had a staff, and we have a staff now of about 5 people who are working full time, but we had no communications department and no real infrastructure to get the word out and compete. So we really relied on grassroots strategies pounding the pavement here around the Bay Area, and people who knew us in our communities, people even who were involved with KPIX and other local companies who help us spread the word.
We love to help with that.
Absolutely.
And we're so proud of you and excited about the Jefferson Award. For anyone who wants more information about the Hidden Genius Project, you can actually log on to thehiddengeniusproject.org. That's thehiddengeniusproject.org. We'll be right back with more Black Renaissance after this break.